South Florida. It's a melting pot of diverse people and cultures, welcoming immigrants from around the country and around the world. But for those new to the area, especially LGBTQ immigrants, it's vital to know your rights.
For immigrants coming into this country, it's important for them to know that they have many rights and legal protections, many of which they may have not had in their home countries. Well, I think one of the most important things that people should know is that here in South Florida, in our main counties, Miami-Dade, Broward, Palm Beach, Monroe, we do recognize domestic partnerships, and there's a very simple way to go online and get all the forms that you need to register a domestic partnership in any of these counties. And it's important that people do so in advance because they provide lots of rights to people, such as hospital visitations, being able to be appointed someone's guardian, be able to make healthcare decisions on behalf of your partner. And the reason I say it's so important to do it in advance is that sometimes a medical emergency may come up right away. And if you are not already a registered domestic partner, it's going to be very difficult for you to be able to gain entrance into the hospital, make those decisions. Here in Florida, unfortunately, we did have a 33-year ban that said that gays and lesbians could not adopt children. In 2010, the Florida Supreme Court ruled that that law was unconstitutional under Florida's Equal Protection Clause, and that there was no rational basis that same-sex couples or even a gay or lesbian individual should not be able to adopt children. So now in the state, after many, many years of discrimination, gays and lesbians now have the full right to adopt children and to be appointed guardians and to do foster care just like any other person. In 2008, Florida passed a law which outlawed bullying in all public schools and discrimination. Specifically in Miami-Dade, they have written into the public school charters that just bullying based on sexual orientation and gender identity is not permitted in any public school. And if your child or if you yourself are being bullied based on that reason, you have the right to go to your school administrators, talk to them about it, and have disciplinary action taken against the person. And it's important to note that Miami-Dade is one of the only counties in Florida that protects gender identity. We talk a lot about sexual orientation, but especially with young people now, gender identity is becoming almost as important an issue as sexual orientation in the schools, and is a huge reason why people get bullied and discriminated against. So it's very important that Miami-Dade has taken this extra step to include gender identity in the protections they provide. Here in Miami-Dade, we have a specific office set up called the Office of Human Rights and Fair Employment, which accepts complaints from people if they're being discriminated against for many different reasons, one of them including sexual orientation in the fields of housing, employment, public benefits, credit and financing practices. Under federal law, which applies here in Florida, the state attorney's office and the federal attorney's office have the right to file a crime as a hate crime if it's motivated by the victim's gender, identity, perceived gender, or sexual orientation. It's very important that these crimes are labeled hate crimes so that we recognize that crimes that are motivated by hate and discrimination should be treated specially and should be given special sentences to show that we do not tolerate this type of behavior here in the United States or in Florida.
Know your rights, South Florida. If you have questions or want to learn more about LGBTQ rights and resources, contact the Unity Coalition. Are you new to the Sunshine State? Go to Get Local Florida 101 and learn a few facts about the 4th most populous state in the nation.